Every year we get a good handful of war films, some big, bold and full of action, others more quiet and haunting. So what does Nuremberg bring to the table? Following the defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II, not long after we had the Nuremberg trials, which was an international military tribunal where the top surviving Nazi leaders would be charged with war crimes. So a portion of this film is a courtroom drama where we follow United States Supreme Court Justice Robert Jackson, played by Michael Shannon, going up against the Nazi leaders, and in particular Hermann Goering, who's played by Russell Crowe. But with this film being based on a book from 2013 titled The Nazi and the Psychiatrist by Jack L. High, it means that the focus is very much on that. And so we follow psychiatrist Douglas Kelly, played by Rami Malek, as he goes to the prison where these Nazi leaders are being kept, and he has been hired as the prison psychiatrist, and he spends the majority of his time with Hermann Goering. Firstly, on Rami Malek as that lead character, I do think he has some decent chemistry with Russell Crowe, and he was compelling at times. However, there are many moments where I thought to myself, some other actor here could be doing a much better job, and he is slightly miscast. On the other hand, Russell Crowe put in a surprisingly good performance as Hitler's number 2, Hermann Goering, and it seems like Russell Crowe enjoys doing characters at the moment which have an accent. Like in The Pope's Exorcist, he was doing an Italian accent. Craven the Hunter, he also had an accent in that as well. And so we're in that era now of Russell Crowe accents.
I am going to escape the hangman's noose.
Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
As a significant portion of this film is focused on the Nazi and the psychiatrist, you do eventually see the psychiatrist get closer and closer to Goering, even helping him contact his family via exchanging letters, also entertaining him by performing magic tricks. And so say you get to around 2/3 of the way through this film, you might think to yourself, hold on, is this film a Nazi sympathizer movie? Well, not exactly, because in the final third, it becomes much more clear why they've gone down this direction. And for the psychiatrist, he's trying to understand the evil behind this man, but in doing so, he's humanized this, evil monster. And he's trying to get close to him, not only because it's his job, but also he wants to write a book afterwards, so he can hopefully make a lot of money. So he's got his priorities in check. But as we've seen in many TV shows and films in the past, where there's a serial killer being interviewed by someone, the interviewer can't just go in there and tell them about their every name under the sun. Instead, they have to try and connect with them. Otherwise, how are they going to get the answers they crave? The film is directed and written by James Vanderbilt, who's best known for films such as Zodiac, The Amazing Spider-Man, and also Independence Day Resurgence, which was absolute shite. But with Nuremberg, he does have something here, but it is clumsily put together, like how he links the two storylines with the psychiatrist meeting up with Justice Jackson, Michael Shannon's character. Michael Shannon, by the way, I think was the best performance in the whole film. I really did enjoy him as this character. But the thing is, I'd actually rather be with him more than the main storyline, which was an issue. Like it started to get a bit repetitive, just seeing this shrink meet up with this Nazi, and with the characters surrounding him as well. Like we have the translator played by Leo Woodall, who you don't really understand what he's all about until towards the end. There's also a romantic interest, sort of, who's really just there to move the plot along. And overall, this film is very much one of those which likes to hold your hand. It doesn't seem to trust its audience, and how it shows horror, it goes down that direct route compared to, say, The Zone of Interest, which is much more subtle. Here we actually see archive footage of the Holocaust, very graphic, and there's even a mention in the BBFC card that came up before the film about these images being in the movie, so that you are warned about that beforehand, because it is very graphic in what it shows. When we do eventually get to the courtroom drama, it is gripping to see that back and forth between Russell Crowe and Michael Shannon, and the ending is quite strong with its messaging. It's a bit over the top, I'd say it's a bit preachy. I think the film should have gone in a different direction, but I've already said before that it is a film that doesn't trust its audience, so I wasn't surprised for it to end in that manner. With a runtime of approximately 2.5 hours, it is quite a lengthy film, but I do think there is enough here for it to be worth a watch. Not necessarily on the big screen though, because my lasting impression is that I'm happy this film has brought Nuremberg to my attention, because I didn't really know much about it beforehand, but now I want to learn more and know the truths of this story, especially what they actually showed in the film of the Holocaust. That was something extremely raw and horrific. And I have seen Holocaust that sort of footage before, but it really is one of those where it just reminds you and makes you sit up straight again, like, yeah, this all happened. Also, a quick shout out to Richard E. Grant, who's always great to see. He has quite a small role here, but he certainly makes use of all the time he has. But anyway, that is Nuremberg. What are your thoughts on the film? If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, do you fancy checking it out? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for some more film reviews in the future, and in the meantime, check out some of my other reviews on screen right now.